So you made it to another show, another day, another battle won, another moment that tested you and you survived. You survived. I know somebody out there today who is having a real rough time. The challenges of the world is becoming a whole lot. There's some things that don't quite go the way you want to, and you're thinking of doing the unthinkable. So before you do something that we have to live with, do something that you can live with and get help. With 3 simple numbers, 988. That's all it takes. Dial those 3 numbers and get help. Get somebody to reach out to you and be able to be a part of your own saving. Because whether you know it or not, you matter. So do me the favor and stay, because tomorrow needs you. And let's talk football. Pride Nation, what's going on, people? Let's talk. It's so much to go over today. I mean, we've had a game, and this was a game that was filled with many storylines. I mean, from happiness to joy to fear. I'm almost sure you felt it all. And we're going to talk about all that and more as we navigate this conversation of the Detroit Lions versus the Falcons. And I think, honestly, that this conversation is going to be bigger and greater than the Detroit Lions versus the Falcons. Because there are some things going on that I'm not quite sure people are paying attention to. And there's some things going on that I'm not quite sure people have gave enough credence to recognizing has happened. Now, I'm only bringing all this cool stuff up because this is the evaluation season. To any person who watches any preseason game and take any stock out of it, it is simply a tool used to evaluate. That's it. Don't overthink this thing. It is simply a tool used to evaluate. And my job is to put that tool in perspective. My job is to put these games in perspective and to make sure that I can give you something to think about to put your emotions in perspective. So the first thing that we're going to, hop off into is me, shouting out who is in the building with me. And then from there, what I'm going to do is get into the topics. We're going to talk about everything from the rookie's debut for Ratledge and Williams. We're going to talk about Hendon Hooker. We're going to talk about Brad Holmes. We're going to talk about Dan Campbell. We're going to talk about Morton and Shep. We're going to cover a lot of things in this short period of time because it needs to be discussed. I'm seeing too many people make emotional statements that don't make sense. So let's see who's in the building with me today. All right, good people. We have my man, Lyons, the bad guy in the building. Jon Kapler is in the building with us. Giovanni Lyons in the building with us. Looney Tune is in the building with us. We got that fan man in the building with us. Makai Holt is in the building with us. Detroit D is in the building with us. We got, let me make sure I don't miss nobody. If you in here, put a comment in so I can shout you out. One Funky Lion fan in the building with us. We got Steven Farmer in the building with us. We got Shays in the building with us. Marcus Willis is in the building with us. Make sure I don't forget nobody. Big T is in the building with us. First thing first, let me just get this out the way. The injury that happened to Norris has gotten nothing but positive updates since the injury. And so it looks like he's going to make a full recovery, and that's good news, right? And I know that there was a lot of people who were frustrated with them ending the game. And I know you might be saying to yourself, well, Luke, I don't think anybody was upset with it. Yes, it was, especially the people who bet on parlays and sports bet. They were pissed because that does affect their ability to make money. So that was a big storyline that came out where people was like, how you just gonna cancel the game? Like, okay, I get it, but like this ain't it. Well, it didn't matter because at the end of the day, what they was doing, the game was going to end and the Lions was going to win 17 to whatever it was, 14 or 10, I forgot. But they was going to win anyway. Okay. This is not going to be anything shocker. Okay. Now, this is my attitude. The next storyline I got to jump into is on the rookies. From my perspective, from what I could see, Tate Ratledge had some good moments, and he had 1 to 2 bad moments. And what I mean by that is, whenever I see a big guy on the ground, something wrong. You know what I mean? And there's one time where, he kind of, it's his first game. I'm not going to be critical. It's his first game, but he kind of overextended himself, allowing the defender to take advantage of that. Overall, my view of what Tate Ratledge did was good. I'm not giving him an A for that performance, but I would definitely give him a B. I felt like he had more good than bad. Tyleik Williams, I don't know what these people are talking about. I've seen so many people come out and say like, oh, he was tossing people. He had one play on a run where he got through on a good move, didn't make the play, but I gave him credit for getting through. The rest of that stuff, like, no. I rate the defensive lineman based off of one singular thing. One singular thing. You know what that is? Winning a one-on-one matchup. And he was given a number of one-on-one matchups. Another thing that stood out to me was the people who tried to say, well, he got double teamed here. I keep trying to explain to people that just because a player gets double teamed on a play here and there does not mean that they're really concerned about that player. That's just the way the play is designed. That's just the way they want it to go. They want them to do a lot of these scoop drills and stuff like that. So they're having them double down on this person. And what I would have loved for me to see with him is him actually split some of those double teams. I would have loved for me to see from him actually show an arsenal of moves on pass rush. Now, granted, it's preseason, his first game, but I didn't walk away all wild like some of these people are hyping up. Oh, he's a beast, or the unmovable, unshakable. That's BS. That's not what happened, okay? Because if I were to go down that road, y'all gonna be mad at me. And I don't think he himself will say, oh, he had a good game. He knows he has to be better, and that's fine. I do think that his comparison to Mike Green is going to forever be there because we passed on a pass rusher for this D tackle, and we're expecting to see certain things. Broderick Martin, I'm going to just be honest with you when it comes to him. Yeah, he made a play here and there. It's not enough. Go ahead and cut it down the stretch and be done with it. You put him on practice squad, ain't nobody finna take him. Let's go ahead and end that. Okay. Let's go ahead and end that. Let me make sure I shout out the people who's showing up a little bit late. All right. My man Roar the Lion UK in the building. What up, though, fellas? Hope y'all are doing all right. All right. Crimson Shadow was in the building. What up, though? All right. Now, again, I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just telling you I was underwhelmed at Tyleik Williams' performance in his first rookie game. His first game. That's not a bad thing. That's just I was underwhelmed. Now, when it comes to some other people, when it comes to people like Meeks, I'm gonna save him for last. I'm gonna go to Tesla. I hope I said this man's name right. Isaac Tesla. A 1991 Max Stag. What up, though? I'm gonna go to him. All right. I thought, for the most part, he did okay. Right? I thought he did okay for the most part. I know a lot of people got hyped because he caught the touchdown pass from Kyle Allen in the end zone. He jumped in the sky. I just want you to know that the cornerback never looked back, not one time. He was completely playing the receiver, and the receiver used it to his advantage. Good catch by him with the hands, and holding on to the ball is what you want to see. That was him. He did that. We can't take that away from him. He caught another pass from Hendon Hooker on a 4th and 3 on a slant, and nice pass. It like he kind of lost it for a second, but he got it together. Very good. But it's not like I'm finna rewrite the history tapes on him. You got people already talking about, oh, is it time to move him ahead of Tim Patrick? Like, man, come on with all this hyperbole BS. Like, y'all know for real what it is. Come on. He's going to be a good rotational guy. But these spots have to be earned. Okay? Now, we got to get into the backup quarterback situation. I'm going to just be honest with y'all, man. I want the Detroit Lions to cut Hendon Hooker. I want them to be cut. I need him to be cut. And I'll explain to you why. Okay? They don't have the faith in him that they should have in him. And it's starting to mess with his confidence. Right? But if you didn't pick up on my sarcasm about cutting him, this should help you better understand.
I need to reintroduce myself. My name is
Hendon Hooker.
Listen, some of y'all have lost your mind to Hendon Hooker. All right. First of all, it's insulting what the Lions is doing. It's absolutely insulting. You gave Kyle freaking Allen, a whole half and part of the third after 2 interceptions to keep working it out. But you're going to pull Hendon Hooker out before the half? That's not an evaluation. That's not how you evaluate quarterbacks. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm the coach or like I should have some higher authority, but I know a bunch of political BS when I see one, and that right there is a political BS. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I understand Dan Campbell being frustrated because, 1, his team is starting off slow again. 2, they're missing assignments and blowing assignments. 3, they're dropping passes. 4, like he's looking at the quarterback and wanting the quarterback to do this. But I just dropped a video earlier today explaining that this is a bunch of BS that need to be followed by circumstances. How do you evaluate anything that they're doing? And I'm with you, Big T. I didn't notice not a single person on the sideline talking to him. Like, seriously. And I would not be surprised if he personally tells them, just cut me. And I hate to be the one that have to come in here and defend this because this is BS. But and listen, to you, one funky Lions fan, to the person who would come in and say Goff would have looked good with that O-line, I got something for him. Because if it's one thing I do, I keep receipts. See, I have to keep receipts. But I'm going to do this one more time for the people who came in a little late. The Hendon Hooker experience, this This is how you know it's some BS. People are calling it the Hendon Hooker experiment. When was it an experiment? You literally drafted a guy in the 3rd round to be a career backup. What the hell? Seriously. And then instead of you actually doing something that could help your team, like, I don't know, maybe if he's not the guy, how about you actually let him try to showcase it? How about you let him showcase it? So I'm going to showcase some of the things that stood out to me. I'm going to showcase some of the things that had me trying to figure out what we doing. But the disrespect and the level of disrespect that they have shown Hendon Hooker drives me nuts. And the reactions from the fans and the media, oh, it's over, the backup position is lost, it's all bad, blah, blah, blah. I saw a message earlier that says that they believe that the Lions are afraid to let him thrive, and I'm like, it's true. They don't want a quarterback controversy. They don't want that. Nobody wants to sit there and have a controversy over the quarterback position. But I'm watching this dude get benched and treated like he was dating one of their daughters and cheated on her. But for the people who didn't understand, this is my thoughts on Hendon Hooker so far.
Absolute atrocity what the Detroit Lions did in the NFL Hall of Fame game tonight. There's no way that Dan Campbell and this Lions coaching staff went through the entirety of this offseason, OTAs, mini camp, and the first week of training camp, and came to the conclusion that Kyle Allen was a better quarterback than Hendon Hooker, a.k.a. Money Hendon.
It's just a public service announcement. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Hendon Hooker.
That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it's a bunch of BS, and I'm going to show you why. Let's get right into it, right off the gate, man. 10 passing attempts. Now, somebody's going to come in here and be like, well, Kyle Allen only had 8 passing attempts, and he still got 2 touchdowns. You know what? I want you to do me 2 favors. 2 favors is not going to be crazy. Just 2 favors. Look at the play calls that Kyle Allen gets, and look at the play calls that Hendon Hooker gets. Seriously. And Kyle Allen looked good against 3s and 4s. We're just going to ignore that, but it's not the point. But the offensive line did not play well yesterday. I mean, did not play well against the Falcons. They didn't. There was nothing about it that says that he played well. All right? On top of that, on top of the offensive line sucking, I can show play-by-play things that stood out to me. Let me go to one of my first pieces of evidence, right? I got to find it, people, because I'm almost sure that many people overlook this. So let's start right here, all right? With the first, see, hold on. Let me go ahead and go back. I gotta do some other stuff. Hold on. There we go. All right. So I know YouTube ain't playing in my face like this. They playing in my face, y'all. YouTube trying to play in my face. Let me go ahead and do the switch up. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me get this switch up. Let me get this thing back on here. I want to go to a very particular video. This one right here. This is the one I want to go to. All right. Now, the reason I'm coming to this video is for two reasons. I need to slow this down so we don't miss nothing. And I need to get us to this timestamp of about 1 minute. Because all I keep hearing the people talk about is the fumbles. That's all I keep hearing, right? I keep hearing about the fumbles. Well, here go the first one. Let's make this nice and big. It is 3rd and 8, all right? 3rd and freaking 8. We just talking about the fumbles. You tell me this is good protection. Look at this. Pocket collapse. What is a quarterback taught to do when the pocket collapses? Step up. Now, he steps up, and you see this, and you're like, dang. Now, mind you, he does a very good job breaking the tackle here. It's the second guy who comes in and get the fumble. I don't like how this thing look. Let me try to get this quality a little bit better. Come on, NFL. Y'all better than this. All right. So he gets the fumble right here. Now, many of you will argue that it's his job to take care of the ball. I will argue that this fumble shouldn't even happen. I will argue that it's a bunch of BS. But here's a closer look at it. Manu is, and this has been happening to Manu all season, but all the news on Manu is he's taking a step in the right direction. Getting walked backwards? Okay. He damn near stepped on Hendon Hooker's foot. But let me get back to my point of why this shouldn't have been a matter. Why this shouldn't have been a fumble. And to the people who don't understand it, dog right here grabbed him. That's the first slow up. He still is trying to go. Now I want you to pay close attention to number 54, because this, on every freaking game of the week, is a face mask. I didn't see one writer. I didn't hear one person, not on Woodward Sports or nowhere, talking about how this should have been a flag. They were too busy living off the clickbait of Hendon Hooker. Oh, the numbers were sky high. Every creator had a Hendon Hooker video because he was the hot trending name. And guess what? None of them, not a single one of them, brought up the fact that this is a blatant face mask on his first fumble, where you have two people staring it down that I have looked at on all 22s and on this dingo type thing, and it was not called. Now, he comes up out of that after getting his face and head twisted. Hands, and this is the other part. That's the other part I want you to look at here. Look at 54's hand placement on Hooker. Look at this. He trying to get him down. Hooker is still like, I got it. Now, once he gets out here, this is him trying to brace for the hit, which he did up until he just got the top of the ball pulled out. I don't care about this because we got to go back to the original infraction, the face mask. Why wasn't this called? This is so blatant. This is obvious. Well, he still fumbled it. Yeah, he fumbled it. But guess what? In the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't have been a fumble. It should have been called a fumble because he got face masked. Now, before somebody get in their feelings and want to talk about that, because I know we got the Jared Goff slappies, and I'm a Lions fan, so I understand the Jared Goff love. I understand the reality of the Jared Goff love. All right. Let me just bring it up. Let's see if it's still okay. Here we go. See, I love when people talk crazy. That was 3rd and 8. This is 3rd and 1. I don't even like the play call. No more than I like this damn play call. One was Morton. This one is Ben Johnson. But let's look at what happens here. Oh. Now, let me ask you. This is another bad performance by our offensive line, particularly, I think that's Graham Glasgow over here. When this dude fumbled the ball trying to escape, where were all the articles and the negative articles to this? Where were the strong cues to this? When he comes to throw a pick six that puts them up, where was that at? This is the NFC. This is the divisional round of the playoffs. Where's that at? We ain't gonna talk about this, huh? Right? It's a hook. It's a Hendon Hooker experiment. That's what it is. It's the Hendon Hooker experiment. Well, let me give you a news flash, good people. This happens to most quarterbacks anytime there's a breakdown in protection. Why? Because defenders are paid and taught to go for the ball. It's not complex. It's not crazy to think that they're going to make their money too. They're paid too. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. We are picking who we want to praise and who we want to bring down. And what's driving me crazy is the coaching staff seems to be following suit on this. And my attitude to it is this. If this is the case that he's a lost cause, cut him. You can't, I guarantee you can't put him on practice squad. I guarantee that. You put him on practice squad and watch how quick he get picked up. Watch how quick he get picked up. So you can't put him on practice squad. And Dan Campbell is a guy that develops talent. But when you really look at it, we never had to develop a quarterback. And I don't even think that they really had to develop Hendon Hooker. I just think that Hendon Hooker doesn't have the vote of confidence. And what brought me to this point was when I went back to Hassanin when he said, I just need somebody to believe in me. And if you believe in me, I will die for you. And it took me back to when I played football. And I was like, yo, I had coaches who didn't believe in me. So I had to go out there and show them. But it was harder because they would sometimes try to like stifle your talent until all their favorite players, you're beating up on them. And here's the other thing. When I sit there and I look at it, I'm thinking to myself, how is Kyle Allen, of all people, Kyle Allen, if you thought Hendon Hooker hadn't progressed as a quarterback, why didn't you just take Shedeur Sanders in the 4th or 5th round? You like taking gambles anyway, but then you don't want to have a quarterback controversy with people screaming, put in Shedeur Sanders when Goff mess up. Oh, now it makes sense. Now the logical side of it starts to make a little bit more sense because now I don't have to worry about it. See, I don't have to worry about what a quarterback competition is going to do. But what they have done is what I have been complaining about with Brad Holmes the whole time is they have safeguarded and invested heavily in Jared Goff and said, forget the defense. And in case you wasn't watching, you should go back and watch the highlights of the Ravens. Or go over to all 22, shout out to you, coach. Go over to all 22's films and look at his video of what people like Mike Green's doing in preseason. And compare it to what you got. But we got too many people who want to be sacred. Like, come on, man. They're not even giving him a fair shot. Even when we was blowing teams out, y'all realize he had 3 games where we were blowing teams out, where he could have been put in at any point in time, and they were still padding stats for Jared Goff. And they could have put him in. I'm talking about Jacksonville game, Cowboy game. We was blowing them out. And he could have came in a whole quarter early. He got 9 passing attempts in 3 games. These are all blowouts. Let me make this bigger. I know some of y'all wear glasses. Let me make this bigger. We had 3 freaking games, 52-6, 4 passing attempts. 52-14, 3 passing attempts. 47-9, 2 passing attempts. How do you evaluate a quarterback like that? How? I wouldn't be surprised if he's purposely doing this on purpose to get up out of here. And if you think that's just it, it ain't just that. It ain't just that. It ain't just this face mask that went uncalled. It's other things that went uncalled. It ain't just the face mask. I'm going to go and look at all of it. Like, let me see. What mark I want to go with this one? No, let me see. 4. Let me go to his second fumble. That's what I want to do. I want to go to his second fumble. Because I don't understand this fear of playing him. Okay? I don't understand it. And if you watch my video that I did of Hendon Hooker, you will see I show a whole lot more than what I'm doing right now. But even in this scenario right here, I don't know. If Jared Goff fumbled and he's the savior, what is Hendon Hooker supposed to do in this situation when the tackle gets beat like this? Right? There's another problem here that I want people to look at, but just look at how fast this tackle gets beat. This is slow-mo. And he's already coming around the corner. Like, come on, man. Well, he still got to hold the ball, Luke. How about you get a man some damn protection? How about you actually hold a block? Then here go another problem I had. This play takes off, right? He has no time to throw to anybody because nobody has completed their routes. Nobody. And more interesting is 85. Keep your eyes on 85 right here. Don't look, don't go nowhere. Just watch 85. Watch how 85 runs this route. Do that look like a person who's trying to have a sense of urgency? Huh? Like seriously. And the truth is, if they get good protection, I have no doubt Hendon Hooker can hit this guy. But he's already being sacked. He's already been hit. And then he gets benched for Kyle Allen. Yeah, it's some stuff in the game, people. It's some stuff in the game. Looney Tunes says, I low-key feel like the coaching staff organization keeps acting like Goff ain't replaceable or expendable or like we can't upgrade. They don't want you to believe that. Because let me tell you something. They're more concerned with building the confidence and keeping the confidence of Jared Goff up than they are about anything else. And I'm not saying that we need to just move on from Jared Goff, but I'm saying that he makes these same mistakes, and that's not the point. There was people complaining about Hendon Hooker on a 4th and 3 getting the first down, not running out of bounds. Why do y'all care? You want him cut anyway. Like, seriously. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand this. I'm watching the Chargers game. I want y'all to understand something. Stay with me. I'm watching the Chargers game with Harbaugh. And, matter of fact, let me see if I can bring it up. because I really don't think y'all understand how crazy it's been. But I'm watching Harbaugh in his game. I'm watching him get a real evaluation of Trey Lance. You know, the Trey Lance that was taken really high. That guy. Remember that guy? Okay. Now, the reason I bring this up is because everybody know that Justin Herbert is the starter. I don't even think it's a secret. Anybody who don't know that Justin Herbert is the starter of the Chargers is clearly smoking something. Okay? But everybody knows this, right? Now, when I show you this, I want you to ask yourself one question. What is it that the Chargers are trying to do that the Lions are not? Okay? What is it that the Chargers are trying to do that the Lions are not? All right? First thing first, they got the quarterback, Ugly, I'm probably pronouncing his name, from Ohio State, and they got Tyler Heineke, right? But they have been letting Trey Lance. Let me just bring it up. Let me just bring it up because I don't think people understand this. What's going on, YW? What's good? All right. They have been letting Trey Lance play. Trey Lance in preseason has threw the ball 34 sometimes. 34. I can go to Hendon Hooker stats for preseason, and I'm not going to find no 34 passing attempts. I'm just not. But why is Harbaugh letting Trey Lance play 3 quarters? Because he's fully evaluating his confidence in a backup quarterback in the event that somebody goes down. He's also building up the confidence and the faith in the player to say, hey, when I call on you, know I believe in you and I trust you. When they call on Hendon Hooker, he already know he's finna hand the ball off. Seriously. He know he's finna hand the ball off. And it drives me nuts. It said if he does really well, it puts in the fear. Right. Here's the other thing. John, you make a very good point. The only thing you stand to gain from him doing well and you fully giving him a shot is for you to have more of an opportunity for trade partners. For you to have more of an opportunity if you really want him going. Right? But you've been playing in his face the whole time. Not giving him a shot. It doesn't make sense. And then you got to think about it. You got a quarterback that's mobile. Why not literally have plays where you got him and Jared Goff back there? You have any idea how difficult it'd be for them to figure out what's going on? I have things in my head that scare me sometimes when it comes to offense. It is because I play defense and I know for a fact if this happened, I would be absolutely confused. If you put 2 quarterbacks back there or you line him up at receiver, it's so many options that we got to respect. Because you can have him do a quick pass to Hendon Hooker and Hendon Hooker pass that thing down the field. There's so many things. Now, granted, it's preseason. You don't want to show everything, but I get it. Juan W. says Hooker has not even one time had a chance to play a full game with a starting O-line, receiver, running back, tight end. So not sure how they can fairly evaluate. I don't either. I don't. Willie Ross says this is why we fail because they have favorites. They absolutely do. Like think about this, y'all. James Houston had 8 sacks or 8.5 sacks, whatever it was, in like 8 games or 6 games. And he's not on the team no more. He's on the Cowboys. And the next year, they didn't give him a shot because they were too busy betting on Davenport. Like, think about that. Think about that. Another thing, I spent a lot of time defending Brad Holmes on taking a quarterback in the third. And everybody said it's a wasted pick. And I'm, for one, am going to join y'all in saying it is. It's absolutely a wasted pick. And I'll show you why. Because even this year, there were players that I thought that we could have got that would have really helped us. I really liked the Drew Sanders. But he was gone before we got to our pick. But you know who wasn't gone? If you needed another receiver, Tank Dell. He wasn't gone. Jalen Hyatt, he wasn't gone. What's even more scary is when you look at the defenders who were still left there when we have a major need. Now, I was all right with taking Hendon Hooker because I just knew that they were going to give him a fair shake and it was going to be enough and they were going to let Jared Goff play his contract out. Nope, they did not. They did not. They did the total opposite, and they was like, no, he's our guy. Okay, fine. But when did you figure that out? Because if you knew, then I'm telling you, yeah, we would have been better off with a Byron Young. I'm telling you, we would have been better off with a Yaya Diaby. I'm telling you, we would have been better off with a Diane Henley, or even better, Trent Simpson. Yeah, we would have been better with those people. We'd have been better with a Overshown, who is balling for Dallas, by the way. Diaby, who's balling for the Bucs, by the way. Shout out to the Bucs. Would have been better taking those people. You needed another tight end because you was trying to get one. We could have just took Darnell Washington. You like blocking tight ends, and he can catch. Look at your options. Look at your options. Look what we took a quarterback that you had no faith in and no right to even think about it. But we can't begin to talk about this. That's a waste of a pick. Especially when you don't give him a chance. Look who you could have had. You could have had a Kobe Turner. You trying to replace D tackles now? You could have had that. And I'm just trying to figure out at what point do I get to still be critical of Brad Holmes and not get told I'm a hater? I don't expect for him to hit every pick, but if you're going to tell me you're going to draft Hendon Hooker with the idea he's going to be a career backup, and then after we going on year 3? This is the third year he been in the league, and you still don't feel confident enough in him, and you sitting up in. Matter of fact, hold on, let me show y'all something, man. Let me go to the most recent draft. Let me go to the most recent draft. All right. Let me just make this the most recent draft. All right, let's get on down here to the 5th round real quick. Let me get on down here. Right? Because this is the kind of stuff that I don't understand. You literally are like, don't have no faith whatsoever in this guy, right? No faith. And you telling me that you sitting up there with no faith in this quarterback, you couldn't have took Shedeur Sanders? I'm showing you this because I want y'all to see. Like, look at how this thing went. Just look at it. There's players in here that I can tell you for a fact we would have been better off getting those players. Now, we had a 5th here. We took Miles Frazier. Again, when playing in somebody's face become a thing. But I'm just pointing out to you, if you knew that this guy wasn't there, you could have took Shedeur Sanders. That's a guy you could have took. You could have said, hey, we're going to cut tail with this guy and we're going to see what we got at your door. Nope, you didn't want the controversy. You didn't want to have what the hell is his name? Deion Sanders coming in there and talking. You drafted D tackle in the first freaking round, and you could have got a bunch of them in the later round, like Ty Robinson, who, if you watched that Eagles game, you saw something. Now, I'm just bringing these all up to make the point that there was opportunity to be had here. But, okay. Cool. And on some other news, this is totally, unrelated to the Hendon Hooker thing, but I want to bring this up. This whole talk about Zadarius Smith. Oh, are you bringing him back? We could easily bring him back. And most people were betting on this being the case because he was dating Cash Doll. You know the Detroit female rapper? Her? That lady? Breaking news, people. They broke up. So, if I'm the Lions, you better start making some hard decisions right now. If I'm the Lions, you need to go ahead and get him because at this point, he has no reason to be in Detroit, Michigan no more, other than the Lions. And at this point, he probably would have took a discount to stay next to that woman. Probably at this point. So you better get that taken care of. And here's the scary part. That's still not going to be enough to solve the problem of who's going to be Robin opposite of Batman. This is the thing that people don't understand. And what they do what they did the year before and the year before that. They hype up whoever that obscure guy is. In this case, it's Marcus Davenport. And they get other organizations to hype it up with silly stuff. And fans buy into it. And by week 3, he'll be hurt. He definitely won't be playing in the playoffs. But it's okay because we did at least get Hassanin, and Hassanin showed some promise. But given how they do things, he's not going to get a full shake. Not until everybody's gone. What's going on, Perry Ball? So for me, cut Hendon Hooker. Let him go somewhere else. I want to shout out this new channel. I've been listening to some of their content and I like it, and I'm subscribed to them. So let me shout this channel out. I hope I'm saying this Full Metal Analysis, right? And they had a point that they made that I think is true, where they said that this offense that is ran by Morton might not be in the best interest of Hendon Hooker. And maybe that he was doing better because it was Ben Johnson's offense. That could be a valid point, right? I would argue that he has already done enough things to show that he is not bad, but you can't put him with 3s and 4s and expect him to be better. Because here's what I can tell you. On that 4th and 3 that he ran and picked up, Jared Goff ain't doing that. He ain't doing that. And for somebody to be like, well, Jared Goff also ain't fumbling the ball, please don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it. Because we know that's not true. We know he most certainly would fumble the ball. We know he most certainly would throw an interception. And the one thing I would tell you is, I'm fair. I don't care who it is. When Stafford messed up back when he was here, I called a spade. But I found myself having to defend him when people came up with stupid names, Stat Pafford. And I kept telling you, if he gets any ounce to go to a team with a run game, he's going to win a Super Bowl. What did he do? Like Jared Goff first shot to the Super Bowl because of Todd Gurley. But this game right here, I definitely blame on Jared Goff, and I blame it on Ben Johnson. It wasn't injuries that did us in. It was stupid play. But the offensive line didn't hold up. Now, I'm going to ask you. Frank Ragnow, gone. And Graham Glasgow is projected to be your center. And your quarterback. Your quarterback now. Come on, man. I also think that it's time that we start to ask this question. Okay? If we're moving on from him to Hooker, who are these quarterbacks who are coming in who's going to be better than him? Seriously. Even when they do all the cuts, who are these quarterbacks? Are you going to be happy if we go out and get Tyler Huntley if he gets cut? You going to be happy if we get Joe Flacco if he gets hurt? If he gets cut? Are you going to be okay with us getting one of these obscure quarterbacks if they're available? Who's that guy coming in? There's a bunch of names you could put out there. What if they accidentally cut Jameson Winston? Are you going to be okay with that? I don't know. YW says Jack Campbell is also a favorite and can do no wrong. He's good, but not great or elite. We saw how he couldn't hold it down when Anzalone was hurt for 2 games. Don't even get me started. Juan, you're going to get me in trouble. Shade216 says it was a wasted pick in the sense that they're not really trying to develop him as a legitimate QB2 at least. That's why it's a failed pick. It's not because they took the guy. It's the fact that they took him without an intention of him really being a developmental player. They've put more time into Broderick Martin, Giovanni Manu, so many of these other players that they've tried, and it hasn't worked. And seriously. What's going on, Joe Lewis 313? He says, sorry I'm late. What's good, Luke? Talk your talk. What up, dude? He says, frankly, I'm getting tired of Brad Holmes. He's a okay, I don't want to mess with that right there. Hooker hasn't picked up the offense, and the speed of the NFL seems to be a much still. How do you come to this evaluation? I'm not being funny when I say this. How do you come to this evaluation? Okay. Now I'm just gonna show you more proof of this, Dr. Detroit, because I don't believe that this is the truth. I don't believe that he can't pick up the offense and all this other stuff that people are making up as they go. I don't believe that. I don't. I tell you what I do believe. Okay. I believe that a person who was getting ready to win a Heisman Trophy is now being treated like an afterthought. His whole life changed off one injury. One injury. And his whole life was changed. That's not his fault. You can't look at him in the time that they've given him and tell me that it's more than enough to evaluate who and what he is. You can't. You can't convince me of it. Because he has not been given the time. He has not been given the fair opportunity. And as much as I would love for him to have that opportunity, they're never going to give it to him. And you know why? You know why? It's because people who have already been down on this pick, who have already written him off, who have already said that this ain't it, they've already came to a conclusion in their head that he can't play. They've already found the way to just look at it and say that, hey, he ain't him. And the scary part is there hasn't been enough film to make that statement. Yeah, he had 2 fumbles. I don't blame none of them on him. Because one of them should have been a penalty, and the other one, the tackle, I don't know if we even had to tackle that play. But nobody, and I mean nobody, can tell me how many games you think is needed to evaluate somebody. Like fairly. Right? Like I'm sitting up here like telling you like, hey, I can go back and watch a bunch of tape. Now again, I'm gonna show you something because all credit goes to all 22 films coach. It goes to him. I take no credit for this. I just don't buy this narrative. Now, I just want to show this. Because I believe that there's a difference in what they're calling. Now, granted, I ain't going to show all this because I really want y'all to go check this video out. But I just want y'all to see this from this standpoint. And and listen to me, if you're not subscribed to this man's channel, I don't know where you've been. I swear I don't know where you've been. You, something wrong with you. This man is good. Okay? But even in this video, I want you to tell me who in the hell is Hendon Hooker supposed to throw to? What? This is 4th and 3. How does this play get him? Now, the only thing I can think of is no, because I don't even think that's the case. I think he just took off. I was gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, this is a play designed for him to run. But no, look at this. Who was he supposed to throw to? Who open? It's 4th and 3. If he throws it to this running back, turnover on down. He can't throw there. He covered. If he throw it here, could that get it? Probably. I doubt it. I'm sorry, it's not 4th and 3. It's 4th and 10. My bad. It's 4th and 10. But this wouldn't get it. So the only 3 people he can throw it to are up here for that first. Who open? Even while he's running, who open? Tell me. Show me. I'll wait. I'm patient. Who's open? The scary part is, no matter how many times you look at this, nobody's open. It's 3rd and 10. Nobody's open. Even if you say, hey, he could throw the ball over the head of this defender this way so the receiver can go and get it. You trust Tom Kennedy that much? I don't. Hell, Tom Kennedy, with this man running with his back to him, didn't even have the wherewithal to go up. Now, he finally looks at him here, but watch he turns his head and look. He doesn't even look. And if you want him to throw the ball here, no. Now, Tom Kennedy gets in a position to get a block. He can't even get that right. And then people got mad because, Hendon Hooker should have went out. But nobody's asking, hey, could it be that Hendon Hooker saw the block on this side and said, hey, I could probably get a few more yards through here? No, just go out of bounds. Seriously. And it wasn't just that play. I can show others. Now, if I were to go to a play that they call for Kyle Hamilton, which I believe is this one. Nope, that's Hendon Hooker on 4th and 3. Even this play right here makes me mad. On 4th and 3. Look at this. Who's open? The only person he can throw it to is Tesla. He's the only one. And this is on a blitz. But somebody's going to say, but he didn't hit him sweet. No, Tesla can keep running. Keep going. He finally turns. He gets hit. It is what it is. But nobody's open. Now, I'm going to just skip over here somewhere because I bet you it's something going on with Kyle Allen where I'm trying to figure out why is Kyle Allen getting routes and plays that get people open. Why is he getting it? They're not giving this to nobody else. But why is he getting it? Let's look at who opened on this one. And mind you, I'm not pausing it. This is all 22. Please go check out this whole video. It's worth every minute of the 17 minutes. I'm gonna try to move this thing forward. All right. But watch how many people open on this one. Look at the route combination that they got on this. And this is with pressure coming, right? And again, Giovanni Manu still on skates. But you got a guy coming open underneath here. He could have hit if he got protection, even though this guy's coming around the corner. He already blocking, but he tried to throw his hands up. I don't know what they bought it, hook, line, and sinker, but at least I can see where there are people open. Both these dudes are open. He's getting better. You know what? I can't make this stuff up. It's not a matter of development. They just don't have faith in him. Now, y'all know me. This is the time of the show where I put the link in the chat. Let y'all come in and talk with me if y'all should so choose to. If you don't, I fully understand. I dropped the video explaining or asking the question, why did they bench him in favor of Kyle Allen? I genuinely don't know. I genuinely am confused as to why did they thought that was the move. And I don't believe that it was a fair shake to him. Yeah, I got off work a little bit earlier, so I decided to go live. I was like, hey, I had dropped the video. I'm like, you know what? I got time to go live. Let me get this in. Then let me get up early tomorrow. I go live early again. Now, Dr. Detroit says, Hooker's trying to go for the big game every time. No, he's not. The film don't say that. The film don't say that, Dr. Detroit. That's not what the film say. The film does not say he's trying to go for the big play. That's not true. I can go and show you other games where in those games they're calling a lot of the same routes. And the ones where he can throw it deep, he do. And some people, like for example, people forget he would have had a first down if Minks catch the ball. He dropped it. Another play that people don't want to talk about is what happened on to Craig Reynolds. I'm in my Discord. Shout out to William Barack. I hope I said that right. And he's like, oh, he's throwing hospital balls. I'm like, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, he's throwing hospital balls. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, real talk, I'm thinking like, he's not throwing hospital balls. Like, at all. The ball was thrown to who it's supposed to go to. The running back caught it. The defender made a play. He dropped it. Who else was he supposed to throw the damn ball to? Seriously. He threw it to the right person. And fans were still trying to call him out. So I don't believe he's trying to get the big play all the time. I don't believe that. What I do believe, and again, I could be wrong by this, I do believe that we're trying to find every excuse to not lose faith in our coaching staff, who is clearly playing politics and favorites with players. And we know that this happens on every team. We ain't the only one to do it. But I'm going to show you the play where it's not a matter of him going for the big play. And what's going on with you, John Jones? What's going on with you, Ed W? The link is in the chat. You don't see it? The link is in the chat. You jump in, I get you in. Let me make sure I ain't missed nobody. All right. But I'll show you. This is not a guy going for a big play. This is a guy saying, this is what I'm getting. Now, don't get me started on the injured player stuff, because you and I agree on that. And remember, that was a big complaint with Quin. Oh, he always getting hurt players. That's what we didn't want. Like, come on. But let me just show you. This is not a guy making a play. This is a guy who's making the best out of what he got. That's what this is. Let me go ahead and make this big for you. I see you in the back, brother. I'm gonna get you right now. All right. I'm trying to figure out who's open. This pocket is already collapsing. Everybody was hyping up Giovanni Manu and saying that he's shown that he's getting a little bit better. Well, here's a news flash for you. When you hot garbage, I mean, anything you do is better. Some of the women that y'all done been with, y'all might have went in that thing, it was only a good 5 minutes long. If you do 5 minutes and 30 seconds, she has every right to say you improve. And that's what I see from Giovanni Manu. So anything he did was going to be an improvement. And it ain't been good. But even in this play right here, there ain't a receiver open. There's a guy already on him in his face and he got the ball off. Where else is he supposed to throw this ball? And then people say, put it close to the sideline. They're going to sticks. They're going to sticks. And they hit the receiver in stride. But they pay defenders too. Defenders get paid. And there's some good ones out there. And Craig Reynolds got to hold the ball. But like, come on. He got to hold this. This is still in his hand at this point. But that hit was more damaging. That's not throwing your receiver into a dangerous position. That's you having that's your only option, or you take the sack. And he put it there perfectly to him. Who was he supposed to throw it to? Who open? He ain't even looking for the ball. It's two people looking at dog right here. He ain't even got out of his breaks or his route running. He ain't even got his head around. And Manu's getting his ass whooped. Come on. But he throwing hospital balls is what they say. Let me get my guess in here, man. And again, it's bigger than this. It's about other players that's not getting the opportunity that shouldn't be getting it. But let me bring in my man Ed W. Ed, what's going on, man? let me get this off the screen, my good brother. Man, listen, hey, I'm excited, man. I'm here to talk some football. I dropped the video today and I went live, so I can't get mad at it.
Oh no, I'm admiring the passion, man. The passion. I just got to reel you back because you keep asking. I see a question in this passion. I see this question, and it's just something that you're overlooking. Remember, they're here to gauge certain talents because everything about Hooker is showing. It shows talent. I'm not going to take that away. But what's happening right now, if I can express this for you, is that Hooker was brought here underneath the idea of, well, Goff is not a mobile quarterback. Goff can't do this. Goff can't do that. So the media train was, well, get somebody that can. We've all been clamoring since Andre Ware. So I know I just aged myself, but they're putting, if look at it from a different arc, they're putting him in the situations to say, if you're so mobile, go do something. I'm gonna put you in here with these. I don't want to say bums, but I'm gonna put you in here with these guys. See what you can do. So he's not getting the protections that you're seeing Allen afforded. He's getting. Well, I know that they're probably going to get beat, but if they get beat, you're supposed to be able to move around and do something and make this great pass. Because every pass that Hendon Hooker was asked to make were all 8, 9, or deeper. He didn't have any short slants. He didn't have any quick breaks, passes. So that showed me along through his journey, even playing in that first half. Well, yeah, they trying to make you do the deep balls with all these supposed weapons you can do, and they're not affording him a good chance, man. And he's not helping himself because as soon as he feel a little pressure and the heat, he gone. And them little soft hands of his ain't no better.
So,
but
I don't know if I would agree with as soon as he feels pressure, he's gone.
Okay,
because we say that for every quarterback that can run, right? Patrick Mahomes will feel pressure and he gets gone, right? We said that for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is this is preseason. In preseason to me is another word for evaluation season.
It's exactly that's what I'm going through with you.
So how we evaluate somebody that we're gonna let throw the ball 10 times or less. We're gonna let him play a quarter and 1 3/4 of a quarter.
Okay, but you play football, so you know. So each one is a purpose and its meaning. So the plays, remember, they're controlling what type of passes that he's going to do.
Correct.
Okay,
and it's evident too. You can see it. You can see it in the tape. That's why I didn't agree with Dr. Detroit that he's trying to go for the big play the whole time. Nope, they're forcing him to take some of these stupid plays.
They're forcing it. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. They're forcing him to scramble.
Yeah. And I don't like that. I want you to let him play quarterback. Because if you let him play quarterback and you do it the same way you would treat any other quarterback that you really value, even if he's messing up, you let him play it out. You let Kyle Allen play it out.
True, but they don't value Allen as a person that's going to be able to scramble.
But they valued him enough that he started the first preseason game. And they valued him enough that they brought him in when he ain't never did nothing worthwhile. And he's been a starting quarterback in this league. And they did the same thing to Hendon Hooker when Teddy Bridgewater called himself retiring, went over and took his high school to a championship. Shout out to him. Then got in trouble, afterwards. But the point I'm trying to make is they never gave the vote of confidence to the quarterback. I can show you right now on a video where Hendon Hooker looks happy in college. And I can show you Hendon Hooker's face the entire time on the Lions. And he does not look happy.
I saw that.
It's like he literally was dating this girl. She was great, but she ended up having to move across the country, and he didn't want to do a long distance relationship. But he meets another girl who's similar to how she looked, but her attitude is toxic and effed up. And she fine, but man, she get on my nerves. That's what it feels like to me.
It's by design. They didn't bring Hendon Hooker in here to play quarterback. Not in the sense of traditional quarterback. That is not why he's here.
Well, then Well, then they need to go ahead and cut him. I want him to be cut. Let him go and be great somewhere else, right? Because if he not gonna do it here, cool. Go on and get him up out of here. Admit that you made a mistake. You passed up on a lot of other talent that we absolutely needed that year, but just go ahead and cut him and admit that you made a mistake. And guess what? I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Stay with me and stay with me strong on this. Y'all better pray that when they cut Hendon Hooker, that we got somebody other than Kyle Allen. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, no matter who comes in, if they don't have the ability to take off and get away from somebody, it's gonna be a long day. Because guess what? The other storyline that came out of this to me was the offensive line play and the offensive line depth. But this time I saw Ratledge, who's gonna be a starter out there. It's kind of a mixed bag. I saw what the damn dude name? I'm drawing a blank on his name. The center. Jesus Christ. Graham Glasgow. And these people are not blocking well. They're just not.
Graham Glasgow didn't block well for 2-3 seasons before. Or every time he subbed, he had an issue.
Well, again, but it's frustrating, man. Like I said, and shout out to you for the beautiful mural on the back. That looks nice. I don't know who did that, but that looks nice. The 3D and everything. I see you. All right, man. Look, I got another person in the back waiting, man. I want to give them a chance to they talking and get up out of here so I can hopefully figure out if I can get off early tomorrow. Make sure they want to hold me.
I enjoy when you come on. I appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you for coming through, bro. Appreciate it. I mean, look, I don't think Ed W makes anything out of the norm when he makes that point. And it's clear that they're not doing an offense designed around Hendon Hooker. I get it. But you're not giving him a shot neither. Let me bring in my next guy, the bad guy, Mr. Jon Kapler in the building. What up, dude?
What's going on? Long time, man. Good to see you live. It's been many months.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I managed to do something I ain't did in a long time. I dropped the video and went live. I'm gonna see if I can do another video tomorrow. I'm working on it. Tough out here in these streets. But go ahead, man. Talk to me, man. What were your thoughts on that Falcon game and your thoughts on this whole Hendon Hooker fascination where everybody's talking about it's an experiment? I don't think it was an experiment to begin with.
Well, one, I want to ask Ed W what he meant. Maybe you can pop it in the comment section. They didn't bring Hendon Hooker in to be what kind of quarterback? I was kind of confused on that. What kind of quarterback did they bring Hendon Hooker in to be? I don't know if you understood that. I was kind of lost.
Saying, like, if you look at Jared Goff's style of play and what they do for Jared Goff in terms of play calling, they didn't bring Hendon Hooker in to do the same thing like that. It seems like they bring him in to test out his ability to be mobile, and they're forcing what passes that he can have to see, like, hey, can he get this done? And it's almost like they got on training wheels for him, which I think is insulting because this
dude was great in Tennessee. He was awesome.
He was great in Tennessee, and he was good
again.
Last year in the
Different
preseason.
scheme, different system, maybe.
No, because like I said, even last year's preseason game where he played well, I thought that they didn't really give him the full chance to showcase it. And then the first thing they do to show their vote of confidence is go out and bring Teddy Bridgewater in. Like, it's insulting. It's insulting, and it's frustrating. I saw a clip the other day where a lawyer, he was a city lawyer, and they wanted to reduce his salary of $200 an hour to $15 an hour, and he got up and walked out on them. And that's how I feel like what Hendon Hooker should do. He should get up and walk out on them and say, cut me. And I think that most fans would be happy about him being cut.
I think, and I said it in the comments before, our last two games coming up are, correct me if I'm wrong, are both joint practices, right?
I think one of them is a joint practice. You said both of them are the next two?
I believe so. I know one of them for sure is joint practice.
I thought the next one was because that's the one we're going to get the dress rehearsal with the starters.
I thought I heard somewhere that both of them were going to be. I don't know. Regardless, I think that's where Hendon Hooker shows out and or needs to show out. Like, like to where it's without a shadow of a doubt that, hey, I can do things. Like to where Hooker forces the point.
I'm sorry to laugh. Let me shout out
good.
my homeboy. So
Huh?
he's a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, right?
Oh man, there was a Jacksonville Jaguars fan who was all about the guy that they drafted, thinking he was going to be great, and he was special best as all could be.
I'm just
so
saying,
I don't want to hear it from Jacksonville Jaguars.
Every time he talk trash to me, I just got to be like, hey, bro, like we just won like 50-something-6. I don't know what you want. Like the last time the Jacksonville Jaguars and Lions met, it was a bloodbath. It wasn't even close. So, but shout out to him. Shout out to my homeboy, man. But yeah, and I also want to answer this question from Perry really quick. He says, Gaddett, what's my biggest concern? My biggest concern is our pass rush and our offensive line holding up. It's the trenches, which is strange for me to talk about.
Yeah, I'm really hoping Z comes back now that you made that great point of him and the rapper chick are no longer dating. I'm hoping they're smart enough to get him in and not let their ego do this thing to where they're like, well, we've got this guy, we've got Hassanin, we've got what's his name with the injury history, we feel good about him. Forget that. Bring in Z anyways and let Z and injury prone rotate. Like come fourth quarter, like your teams don't rotate their offensive line. What you do rotate is your defensive line. And if you're rotating edge rushers and they still got, come fourth quarter, they still got half a tank left in them, and that offensive line is on E because you're keeping it fresh, you're not only extending the season of these players that are injury prone or had a big injury last year, but you're just wearing down the offensive line, and that's where you can get your pressures, where you can get your sacks. So bring in Z, get him signed. You got him rotating with the other guys, and you'd be good. They'll be very stupid if they don't. I heard something about them maybe not doing it until after week 1 so they can save money. But I don't care about money. Like, go and get this done. Go and get this done. Go give your team the best chance to win a championship, to be the very best that they can be.
No, I agree with you, man. And I think those are very fair points. And I know that the question was asked from Perry Ball. Do I think they did enough to be a true Super Bowl contender? I think that any given Sunday, anything can happen. But I do have serious concerns when it comes to the trenches. I do not see how Tyleik Williams is going to have this impact. I don't see it.
He ain't Jalen Carter. Like, and I get Brad Holmes' sense of let's get a defensive tackle in the first round because I failed. The only time I've done it is one time, and other than that, my defensive tackle or my guys who can play defensive tackle / edge haven't worked out. So I have to go defensive tackle in the first round.
Yeah,
well, you could have had an awesome linebacker and got a defensive tackle later on.
I feel like it's going to be some D tackles that's going to really show you that.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me bring in my next guest so I can get myself rolling, man. But I appreciate you for coming through, John.
Good to hear from you.
You too, sir. That's Jon, the bad guy Kapler in the building. Let's bring in my next guest. My man Rumble is in the building. Rumble, what up, though?
What up, though, man? Long time,
long time, man. And yeah, you know, I know John was asking a question about the 2 practices, and you said, yep, the next 2 are joint practices. So that's good to know. I haven't really, like, I've been reading the news and stuff, but I've been working on videos and stuff, trying to, get back into my rhythm, and stuff. But I see that you have some strong opinions about Hendon Hooker. You said you can't unsee the 2 fumbles, even though I don't think neither of the fumbles are his fault. Talk to me.
Yeah, I basically feel like he's not equipped. The game is too fast for him. And I don't know what it is. I know in practice, the quarterbacks tend to have on the red jerseys. And I think the game play, there is no red jersey. These guys are coming to lay the lumber on you. So you have to have that internal clock, which he did in college, believe it or not. he would drop 3 steps and then he would take off, or he would, throw the ball. But I feel like he's holding on to the ball way too long. I just feel like he's not confident, and it sucks because he is an older player, and I feel like he had an incredible college career leading up to his injury. It's just not something I want to see from him, especially when Kyle Allen can come in and in 5 plays we score 7 points. So yeah, my concern is ugly right now for him.
Okay.
But I think it's on the coordinators as well, man. Get him a play book to where he can just be free. He don't feel like he has to make these big plays. I think you guys made a very valid point with the routes that these wide receivers are running. But in the same token, it's like he has to know he has to get rid of that ball, man, and secure it. Yeah, it's ugly right now for him.
So you don't care that he had a face mask on the first one?
No, that one I'm a little bit more. That's not on him so much, but I could tell he's rattled. You could tell he's rattled. It's
Okay.
I don't know. It's like happy feet, and he's like,
Now,
do I?
I would agree with you on this, Rumble. I would agree with you on this. Okay. I would agree with you that it is too fast for him, but not exactly that the game is too fast, but it's stuff like this where your right tackle is having the damnedest time. Let me see. It's skip right there. We go. When your right tackle is having the damnedest time even touching somebody, yeah, this is too fast for him. Not only is it too fast for him, it's too fast for any quarterback.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
So I don't know how I could blame this on him when it's nowhere for him to escape. He can't step up. he can't step up. He can't go left because Manu's getting walked. What would you have him do? Just go to the ground? Fine. You want to put that on him? Fine. I would argue what routes on this play was supposed to be open when the guy's already in and nobody's out there breaks.
And yeah, not only that, nobody's got their eyes to the quarterback.
Exactly.
So,
What? How is this his fault?
No, this one is not his fault. But
okay, hold on. Let's go back one. Let's go back one more. All right. Okay. Let's go here. All right. How is this his fault?
Yeah, he's got to hold on to the ball, man. I'm sorry.
He's got to hold on to the ball?
He's got to hold on to that ball.
I'm with you.
Because look at this. He had an opportunity right here. Yep, one hand on the ball. And now look, it's still one hand on the ball.
Yep, one hand on the ball, right? It's one hand on the ball. One hand on his face mask.
One hand on the ball, yeah. But yeah, he still has one hand on the ball. You got to have that thing high and tight. But yeah,
I feel you. I feel you. But my question is, is that not a face mask?
That is a face mask, and that's a blown call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you clearly see he's gotten up off of this tackle.
Right.
There is two hands on the ball, and it still came out.
Yeah.
That's not his fault. This play should have been called a face mask because what really slowed him down is if he doesn't get the face mask, he's off to the races.
Yeah.
But this face mask was enough to turn his head, and he pulled up out of it. Now he puts two hands on the ball here.
It's still like one.
But again, I still looked at the facts. You blew a call. So how are we blaming this on? How are we blaming him? I just want to know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he was the last one to have the ball in his hand. That's just how we are, man. I just don't like his.
I just want to ask. I just
don't like his. It's. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know. He needs to be more vocal with as far as what they're having him do. Maybe he should tell him like, hey, you had 5 receivers go out for passes, and I didn't see any of the routes develop. And like you said, that his right tackle did sold them out, man. And it's you got to have those plays where there's got to be some intermediate routes. It looked like everybody was going for a freaking a streak. You know what I mean? It's like a Madden playbook call where they just had everybody going on streaks. I didn't see any button hooks. I didn't see any slants. I didn't see any kind of check down routes. And unfortunately, you know, he's going to get that. He's going to get the. We're going to criticize him, and it's unfortunate that we do that.
I understand the criticism, but criticism without context is not my thing. The Universe Galaxy says, "Hey, can I join your panel and explain why Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time?" I talk football. I don't even talk basketball. Have I ever did it? Sure, but I mean in general, I talk football.
Yeah,
that's why it's a field review. You want to talk football? You down to come in? You know what I'm saying? But when I put that link in there, that's when people come in and talk ball. Now, if you came in and talk about Michael Jordan on a football show, I don't know how that works. You know.
And my concern to answer, I think Perry Ball's question is, health and just our coordinators. You know, how quickly are they going to adapt to the players that we have out here? It seems like Kyle Allen looks very comfortable, and I don't know what the difference is between him and Hendon. I don't know if they sent some different O-line out there. But
no, they didn't even send no different O-line out there. I'm gonna tell you what it was. And this is what it was. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Falcons started rotating in them threes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And Kyle got better route trees that had options for him to throw. Whereas Hendon Hooker, like,
he had some good anticipatory throws, man. Like that one to Tesla in the corner.
The one to Tesla was a good anticipated throw. I like that. That was cool. But you know what? That right there is a microcosmic of everything else. The cornerback never even looked back. He was just chasing the receiver.
He did it. He was out of position like a bug, but still,
when I got a cornerback with his back turned to me, I'm throwing the ball towards him. But even if the cornerback looked back, he still had at least two more options to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
And what up, though, Chopper Trav? What's going on with you?
But that definitely gave us juice, and I think we would have won the game easily. I think that gave us so much juice because, like you said, at that point, everybody was like, "Wait a minute, we're not." You know, it was like a flash of lightning, man. Like 5 plays, boom, 7 points. So, but those are my two concerns, really. What are these coordinators doing? What packages are they running for specific guys? And to your point, the rookie Williams, I think he looked good, man. I got an opportunity to watch the all 22 over the weekend.
What did he do good besides the one play where he got through when he was on the left side? He came through on the run play. You know,
well, he's getting doubles. He's getting doubles.
Everybody get doubles. It's part of the gameplay, Rumble. That's part of the gameplay. Because guess what? When he left up out of there, they double teamed the other people too. And guess what? We double teamed some D tackles too. It's part of the game plan. There's nothing special about that.
So when he got doubled, hear me out. When he got doubled, right? There was a specific play that was highlighted in all 22. He kept the O lineman from getting upfield to the second to where the linebacker was. He basically grabbed the outside of his shoulder pad and was like, "Nope, you're going to stay here with me," which allowed the linebacker to then get in there and make a tackle for a loss against the running back. Like the dude is smart enough to realize, like, I'm just going to sit right here. You guys, I'm going to consume you guys' attention. I'm going to consume you guys as, like, you guys are going to have to be physical with me so that my guys can make a play. And those are some of the things that you can't necessarily teach. You know what I mean? Like, some people, if they feel like they're getting doubled, they just, like, kind of give up. Whereas he's like, no, I'm forcing you guys to stay engaged with me. I'm forcing you guys to still pay attention to me. And for that, I'm thrilled because he knows he's not always going to get the pressures.
Okay. Rumble, you're going to force me to do a video on him, and I don't want to. Okay?
Let's do it.
I don't want to because I believe that perspective is everything.
Yes.
And you're going to see that. And it's one of the reasons why I'm making the point with Hendon Hooker to show, like, hey, I can show you where when he had a clean pocket, what he did versus when everything around him went to the toilet and they wasn't blocking appropriately. But the thing is, even when you look at Kyle Allen, right, the big play that he had to Meeks, it would have been a big play to Meeks with Hendon Hooker if he didn't drop it.
Yeah, that's true. I think Hendon throws one of the more prettier balls. I can't. I can't just sit here and say.
He said, "Make him make a video."
Yeah,
yeah, make him make that video. I don't want. Hey, it's only okay. I'll tell you what I'll do.
be the devil's advocate on that. I will.
I'm gonna have to go through and I want to give him one more game because I was not.
I'll come on here with you and debate that because I feel like the kid. So everything we're expecting Broderick Martin to do, just based on his size, is what this kid is doing already. He's like, if you'd have seen the little subtle, like he literally grabbed the outside of the pad because that O lineman was trying to get upfield to the linebacker, and he was like, "No, you're gonna stay right here with me." And he literally had one hand on his.
I feel you. That's two plays. He had more snaps than 2 snaps, man. And I've seen a lot of plays where he got one-on-ones and he was just there. And I judge him based on what you do in the one-on-one matchup. That's just me. It says a starter's perspective says, "Hi all, what up, though?" Marcus Landon says, "I'm here. Good day, all. Good day, y'all. What up, though?" But I'm gonna tell you, I put it like this because I'm gonna do this video. Because y'all, I'm trying not to.
I'll be here.
But
I'll be here.
My comparison is right now, and again, it's only one preseason game. That's why I'm trying to save it. But he's not looking no better than A'Shawn Robinson at all.
Okay, that's okay. After 2 games, you're comparing him to A'Shawn Robinson. Okay.
No. What I'm telling you is, I'm not doing that at the 2 games because he only this is the game that he had on against the Falcons was his first game.
Right.
But when I watched him, my first mindset went, "Oh, he's doing A'Shawn Robinson type stuff. He's getting one-on-ones and he's just standing there." I don't like that. Just don't. So, Lionheart says Ahmad Hassan is good though. It's good too. I like what I saw out of him.
Yeah. That kid's
I ain't had no doubts with it. 313 Kurt says, "Luke, we miss you, man. Streets been hungry." Well, I dropped the video asking why, Hendon Hooker got benched, and I did a live today. So we got a 2-for-1 today, and I hope to do this again tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we got, let me see, make sure I don't forget nobody. But I get A'Shawn Robinson vibes. That's what I get.
I think we're going to be more certain with what he has, because again, there's 2 more joint practices, and I think he's getting his feel. I think he's getting comfortable, because those little subtle things right there, you can coach him, and they might take a while, but he's like, I liked it, and that was just the one play, but still, it's like, oh dang, that's something subtle that you have to understand the game. It's like, I'm gonna let my guy eat. Y'all gonna stay here with me. I'm gonna let my guy eat, and shout out to that linebacker because he knew it. The one linebacker covered the one gap, and the running back only had that one gap to go up, and that linebacker met him right head on, and it collapsed the play. So yeah, I don't know. I'm truly more worried about these coordinators because, like you said, I love them giving Manu those snaps on the outside, but like you said, if you can't even touch the guy that's across from you, if he's beating you off the ball, if he's beating, the snap count. That dude doesn't know the snap count. If he's beating you off the ball, bro, you need to go back to you need to work on something, man. So that's
I'm seeing Manu let people get into him a lot, and I'm just like,
yeah,
where they do that at? Like, this is new for me. This is something that I'm not used to seeing, and it's absolutely new for me. But I'll tell you what, I am more than willing. Okay, I am more than willing to allow for Tyleik Williams to have more games for me to see it. Because I don't want to judge him too harshly without getting more tape to be able to say, okay, he did this. But in the little bit that I saw of him, I was not impressed. I was definitely impressed with some other people on some other teams. I wasn't impressed with this guy. And it's not because I want him to be hot garbage or trash or anything like that. It was more so because I don't think that what's the word I'm going to use for this? I don't think that opportunities are being given to people who should get more playing time. Like at this point, it's a whole evaluation point. Let these people play.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's just because of those two coordinators. I think there's more that they're having to do, and I just honestly think they're trying to just, they didn't have enough time to evaluate these guys, so they're like, well, we need more tape on them. We need more snaps from these guys. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I can't give Williams the nod, but I saw some little intricacies that I was happy to see. You know what I mean? Where it's not all about him per se. He was happy to let his guy eat. He was like, look, I'm gonna hold this guy on the outside right here. You go ahead and go do what you got to do. And I think, in all honesty, I think Shepard's gonna get him going. I think Shepard has a much more of a feel than the other guys do. And I hope it's not all politics, like you said. I hope they're not just like, let's let him play only. Let's let him play only. Let's let him get the ball. Because we heard about Tim. We heard about our other wide receiver. What's his name? Tim, not getting enough targets. What is his name?
Patrick.
Tim. Yeah. Him not getting enough targets. So it's like at some point these guys are going to have to really make sure that these guys are getting their targets and that these guys are getting enough plays for them to evaluate. Because Patrick's just out there blocking, and he's out there running routes. Nobody's throwing the ball to him. So it's kind of like, But anyways.
Bro, I appreciate you for coming through, man. I'm going to wrap this thing up, and I want to show a few more things to the people who came in a little bit late so they can see it. And as always, man, I'm going to get Tyleik Williams a little bit more room, but I'm just telling you, I was not impressed his first preseason game. I was not. Man. But I appreciate you coming through, bro.
All right, Luke. Likewise,
all right, man. And listen, I want to point out just a few more little things with the Hendon Hooker stuff, just because I don't want people to get it twisted, man. I don't want people to think like we got to overlook this stuff. I just want people to realize, like, look at the difference between when the pocket was completely collapsed. He either escaped or was blown. But like even in this right here, we can see Meeks right here. I was told that this was a hospital ball, right? This is what I was told, that was a ball that'll get you put in the hospital. He's leading them into and I'm looking at this and I'm like, it hit him dead in the hands. Like, as much as I would love to do it, but this is a clean pocket. And this ball is in his hands. You even see his hands because of the gloves on his chest. And he's trying to get it back, but the safety came up and hit him. That's not on Hendon Hooker. That's a 3rd and 4. That should be a first down. But Minks dropped it. He was hit in stride and he dropped it. We just got weird memories. So I just want to do this one more time before I get up out here for him. Then I'm gonna give my final thought. I'm gonna give y'all my feelings on it. This is how I feel about Hendon Hooker, and thank you to JT Sports, courtesy of his beautiful analysis. This is how I feel about Hendon Hooker.
Atrocity what the Detroit Lions did in the NFL Hall of Fame game tonight. There's no way that Dan Campbell and this Lions coaching staff went through the entirety of this offseason, OTAs, mini camp, and the first week of training camp, and came to the conclusion that Kyle Allen was a better quarterback than Hendon Hooker, a.k.a. Money Hendon.
It's just a public service announcement. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Hendon Hooker.
That's how I feel about it. Like, let me reintroduce him to y'all because I think y'all forgot. And 313 Curt, that's exactly what it is. They certainly opened the playbook up for Kyle Allen, and it's like limited to Hendon Hooker, and it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Let me get into my final thought for the day, people. Y'all know me. I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And today's positive quote comes from the internet. It is an African proverb that says, "The desert teaches you more about water than the ocean ever could." Man, that was some deep stuff, right? Let me just one more time for the people in the back. The desert teaches you more about water than the ocean ever could. And see, this right here, when I read this, originally I thought to myself, how could the desert, a place that doesn't have water, teach me more about water than the ocean, where it's plentiful? But then it dawned on me. It's the key word in there about what it don't have and what you do have. You see, when you got a whole lot of it, you don't genuinely tend to think or care about it. You see, if you got a whole lot of money, you don't really think about money. You got a whole lot of water, you don't tend to think about water. But at some point, you want a little dry land. And when you out in the desert, you don't always sit there and say, I want more land. I need a little bit more water. You see, some of y'all is thirsty right now, and y'all wandering alone in the desert trying to find some water. And some of y'all ain't even understood that. And some of y'all got a whole lot of water, and y'all are getting a little seasick, but you're afraid to test the land. See, there's something about this proverb that makes you rethink your priorities on what is important. You see, both of them still have a need. They just create them in different ways. One of them creates a need for when I don't have it, I want it. And when I do have it, I don't really need it. The proverb is beautiful because it makes it in such a way to have you understand that just because you have something, do not get satisfied in having that plentiful thing. Because just as easy as you got it, you cannot have it no more. Just as easily as it's come, it can go. Don't get comfortable in your settings. Always strive to do something a little different so that those things that you're taking for granted don't get missed. Life is too short for you to miss the small things, and it's way too important for you to worry about the big. So before you decide to make a decision about how you want to move through this thing called life, ask yourself, did I just stop for once and appreciate what I do have and not think about what I don't? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And if you don't do nothing else, please go check out my video on why they benched Hendon Hooker for Kyle Allen. And I will be back at this again, Lord willing, tomorrow to talk more Detroit Lions football. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out.